Hey, I'm Jay Holland. This is Guided by Faith, and we are walking through a series on having a mission trip mindset as we live at home and as we go about our summer. If you looked at today's episode title, you might not think it's a mission trip mindset. It's called Serving for Fun and Profit, and that might actually sound more like a business podcast, but it's a reminder that being available to God, joyfully serving others can actually be really fun and deeply rewarding. You know, most people are willing to work a really tough job for a paycheck if it's big enough. You know, if the paycheck's big enough and it's legal and ethical, most people would do just about anything. But what if I told you that Jesus offers something even better than that? In Mark chapter 10, verses 29 and 30, Jesus says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, there's no one who has left houses or brothers or sisters or mother or father or children or lands for my sake and for the sake of the gospel who will not receive 100-fold now in this time and in the age to come eternal life." In Mark 10, Jesus promises that those who serve and sacrifice for his sake will receive 100 times as much, not just in the future, you know, a year or two down the road, but for eternity. Not just material blessings, but eternal blessings, great community, meaning, purpose. So serving may not always feel glamorous, but with the right mindset, it can actually be one of the most exciting things that happens in your life and in your faith. You get to make eternal impact and experience the joy of joining in God's work. So I want to talk to you today just about a few different things that I've observed in the realms of serving for fun and profit. First off, just realizing that serving is not just a duty. Serving is a joyful invitation to join in God's eternal work. Think about it this way. If you are a basketball fan, imagine that you got to become the ball boy for the Miami Heat if you live in South Florida, or you know, you like the Bucks or the Pacers or the Lakers or whatever. Imagine you get to be that person that sits down there and has the towel, and your job is to run out there when one of those NBA players fall down and scrub the sweat off the floor. Now, imagine I just told you, hey, I'm going to give you a job, and your job is to go scrub other people's sweat off the floor, and I'm not going to pay you. You'd be like, that's a stupid job, and that's the worst job in the world. But if I told you that it was, you know, at the base of an NBA basketball game, and you were getting to scrub off the sweat of Luka or Giannis or Wembanyama, then, man, you'd do it for free, right? Because of the experience and being involved. It wouldn't matter that it felt like work. Well, when we work for the Lord, that is work that we get to be part of what God is doing. And we get to see things that God brings us into, and we get rewarded forever. Jesus promises incredible rewards for those who give their life in service to him. And so part of what we have to do is we have to shift from a I have to serve to an I get to serve mindset. And this will help bring purpose into small acts. I've also noticed this, that many times I've been in a place where I get really upset if people don't notice my service. I'm willing to work hard, but I need somebody to brag on me. I need somebody to pat me on the back. I need somebody to see all of the hard work I did and make a big deal about it. Well, Jesus says that when we do stuff like that, then we've got our reward, right? I was serving for the attention of others, and I got the attention of others, so good job, there's your reward. But if instead I can serve in secret, like I can, number one, serve where nobody else sees, picking up little things, praying for people, doing behind the scenes stuff. But also sometimes serving in secret is like, I do it in public, I'm just not drawing attention to myself. Then if somebody notices, that's great. I get a chance to just talk about how I love the Lord and I want to honor him. But if nobody notices, I realize that God still notices, and it is completely worth it, because anything that nobody else notices but that God notices means that only God is available to reward me. Only God is available to reward you if you serve with him in mind. And so if this becomes our mindset, then really there is no task that's too small, right? back to that basketball illustration. Now, if you don't like basketball, you can come up with your own illustration. If you like horses, okay, we'll use that. Imagine I told you that your job was going to be to shovel poop for free. You'd be like, that's a terrible job. I don't want that. Now, imagine I told you it was going to be at the Kentucky Derby and you were going to be shoveling the stall out of the Kentucky Derby winner. Now, the access that you have, like I get to be a part of something great. I get to be a part of this horse that is going to be known forever. It changes the whole mindset. You're still shoveling poop, but it's the why and the who that matters. In the basketball illustration, you're still on your hands and knees running out there and wiping up other people's disgusting sweat, but it's the who and the why that matters. And so if you have that mindset, it does not matter what the task is that God puts in front of you. It's the who and it's the why. The who is Jesus. I get to serve Jesus, my King. Why? Because he loves me, because he died for me, because he rose again, he gave me new life, he's giving me meaning and purpose, and he's promised to reward me beyond anything that I can imagine. So in these senses, what I just encourage you to do, if you will bring joy to the table when you serve, the service will become joyful. If you can be that person that brings joy, even if other people are miserable, your joy can be contagious. And then something that was miserable a minute ago will all of a sudden be fun. We'll make a great memory. You guys can bond together over it. Why? Because of the who and because of the why. The who is Jesus and the why is for his glory and ultimately your good. So my encouragement to you today and over this summer, find the sneaky ways to serve. Find the menial tasks to do. The first way you can practice is by picking up chores in your house before you're asked. Do things in your home that mom and dad have not yet asked you to do or maybe wouldn't ask you to do. Pick up the messes that you didn't cause. Mow the lawn even if it's not your week or you're not getting paid. Pick up a chore that mom and dad normally have to do, or even pick up a chore that your brother and sister have to do. Why? Because anything you voluntarily do like that, you get to do for Jesus, and then he gets to reward you. Now, next time, we're going to talk even more about shifting that mindset from I have to I get to. That way, if you ever feel stuck in your faith and you feel like you're just going through the motions, that episode is going to be really helpful for you. But today, sneaky serve for fun and profit. I'll see you tomorrow.